This my pattern traders update on BTC. I was waiting for the breakout to take place, and it did finally. Thank God. Unfortunately for me, it broke out to the downside, not to the top side. I was not expecting that. Ideally, what you want to see to get an idea of why I was anti going down, well, because you have this 5-day order block above you. So if you assume that we're going to go down before up, that means that regardless of what happens, when you go back up, it's going to be a fresh box, fresh supply zone, instant fucking dump. Whether that's a higher low or lower low, chances are, though, because we did what we just did right now, it's going to be a fucking massive dump again. So you want to ask yourself, you're in a range, right? Because again, this was just a small little range. I think it was for about a month or so consolidation, right? Right there. We started December 4th. So like a month of consolidation, up, down, up, down, up, down. We take the top of we take the highs of that zone, and you break down. As you can tell, you're breaking down right now. So ask yourself this question. I'm breaking down. Where am I buying if I'm breaking down before hitting my top supply zone? Where is the demand zone over here, right? Zoom out a little bit. Go to your 5-day. You have your 5-day order block, which is also your demand. I'm going to make this green. 5-day order block, which is I'm going to buy a lot of heavy spot over here between $37,000 and like roughly about $40,000. And then your supply zone, again, which I'm going to exit the market, most probably given the circumstances right now that I'm seeing are disgusting, is between $53,000 and $58,000, right? So this is going to be your little box, and this is going to be the consolidation that led to the breakdown. So if you are in the middle of these two 5-day order blocks, it's likely that, given the fact that we broke down, this will get tapped before this gets tapped. Now, if this top here comes first before this comes down here, ideally what you want to see is a break above $47,000. Ideally, it's 47. That's a monthly level right there. So ideally above that level, you reclaim this black line, and then your target is $53,000 to $58,000. Now, if you go back up to the black line and you reject this line, then you want to assume that we're going straight down over here to have our 3-drive pattern, and then do some kind of like wedge before you break out to the top side. So this looks like it's going to keep consolidating for quite some time. We're looking at roughly about, I don't know, maybe, well, we just broke out, right? We literally just broke out yesterday after 1 month's worth of consolidation. Unfortunately, the breakout was to the downside. I can't just expect this thing to V-reverse up, especially because the daily candle closed in the wick. Like, this thing should have had a bounce by now, man. Like, you filled the whole wick and you're still down here. That's not good, right? So another scenario is that this is your deviation, right? This is your deviation. You know me, I like playing deviations, right? This is your deviation. Let it consolidate here. Let it go around. Let it mess around a little bit, right? And then carry on. And then at that point, it's the same exact thing. You're going to target 46 as your first target, or 47. You get above this, and then your next target is going to be $53,000. These highs over here, to me, don't really matter. Hold on. They don't really matter to me. Those highs don't really matter to me because they've been already tapped and exhausted. So ideally, whatever move we get back up to this red box, going to offer probably a higher low, and that's going to bring us up to $53,000, right? Something like that. So this is the only scenario that I have for BTC, right? It's not about being a moon boy, not it's just being realistic. You do not want, if you accumulated for a couple of months, for 3 months down here, and this is your higher low, right? This is your higher low to the accumulation that led to an all-time high. You have no fucking business breaking this. You literally have no business being down here and breaking this if you're bullish. That means that, technically speaking, this is bearish right now, right? I'm trying to make it as clear as possible, as clear as day. And one could argue, myself included, could argue that this is just one big accumulation range, right? Before another attempt to the top side. Basically, this is where the big boys accumulate BTC. This is where the big boys accumulate BTC. Sure, it could. But at that point, this thing, if that is the case, could drag on for another 7-8 months. One big massive range, right? So like, for example, take in consideration what happened over here. How long did this range last before we broke down? 343 days, right? How long does this range last right now? Since the top. Well, you know what? I should take it from the bottom because that's when we started. We are at We're at a year again. We are at exactly 1 year. Only difference is this was making lower highs and lower lows. This actually made a higher high. So this looks like accumulation. This looks like distribution. Well, make a long story short, we pretty much dumped down here. So this dump right now should not go fill this box down here, because then it defeats the purpose of having a higher low. I hope this makes sense to you guys, right? If you're comparing the two boxes, hold on, let me drink some coffee, guys. I love coffee. I'm a caffeine junkie. So, do I think that the bull market is over? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You know. So what the hell am I doing? So I can't see us. I know there's a lot of targets for people. I know that there's a lot of people out there targeting $34,000 to $35,000. Based on a range, it's valid. Based on structure, it's invalid. And you have no business going down here. Again, and you know what, to be honest with you, you had no business going down here before going up there, so it did it anyway. But at least it didn't break structure. Again, to me, personally speaking, looking at structure, looking at tops and bottoms, the main thing that I need to worry about is this 5-day order block. If we break this 5-day order block, I'm going to run out of the market so hard, so fast, you have no idea. We lose that 5-day order block, you have no idea what's going to happen. It's going to be disaster, right? That was the flip. That was accumulation, flipped. You do invert. Look, what does this look like to you? Right? Came back up, retest, and then went right back to whatever, dumped or went to all-time highs. This type of behavior, this is a significant line, guys. Significant line. You do not break that. You do not break that. And to be honest with you, if you look at the candles, we've literally been downtrending since November with no lower high, nothing at all. Look at the difference between the two downtrends. I think this was April, May. 100 days. We're at the 60th day right now. 2 months worth of downtrending. You know? So, regardless of it all, okay. Regardless of it all, I do not want to lose that 5-day order block. That's it. That's like my final point. I do not want to lose a 5-day order block. So I'm sitting in roughly about 5 longs or 4. I forgot what I opened up. I did a BTC, I did an ETH, I did a FTT, I did a what else did I do? I don't know. Okay. Forgot what else I opened up. Rune. I opened up a Rune, and there was one more. I don't know what I did. It's on my Binance account. I don't know if it was AVAX or Algo. I forgot. Regardless, there's spot. I didn't do leverage. I did a BTC leverage long though. And I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna get rid of them at roughly about $46,000 or $47,000. And if I get stopped out in that, I'm not touching longs again until I go to that order block. Very simple. I had to take this long because the invalidation was very close. It was basically the low, right? So I long this. My validation is this low over here, which is very close. And for Ethereum, the reason why I longed, I think Ethereum has a lot more downside, by the way, guys. But that's a different conversation. The reason why I longed is because Ethereum, I think it was, where was it? Daily? I don't know where it was. I saw it somewhere. Hold on. What did I do? I think it was the 5-day? 3-day. I don't know what it was, but I saw something. Yeah, it was a daily. Let's see, hold on. There we go. I'm sorry about that. It was a daily. So it hit the VWAP, the monthly VWAP. You know me, I always pay the VWAPs, so I had to. And give it into anyway. Sorry about that, guys. So that's the only reason why I longed Ethereum. It literally tapped it to the T. So my entry is the bottom of Ethereum. So I don't care if it stops me out because my risk is so low. You know, and I didn't even open that big of a position. I only opened up like 8 Ethereum longs. So I don't really care. And my target's going to be for this again, the same thing. Top. I want to see these get taken. I'm kind of being optimistic for $41,000. Ideally, you want to see at least 36. That'll be your first TP. But I'm going to be patient. So this is going to do something like this. And if it's a higher low, then you target that 41. But anyway, the first trouble area is for $36,000 for Ethereum. Right? But overall, I think Ethereum has a lot more lower to go, man. A lot lower to go. Downtrending, completely lower highs, lower lows. Obviously, it's manipulated. You could tell this is like a straight fucking downtrend. It's disgusting. My ultimate target is going to be probably somewhere in the $2,600-$2,700 range for Ethereum. I cannot see this making us go to all-time highs. That doesn't make any sense to me. I'm not even looking at oscillators right now. I still think Ethereum, whatever bounce we get, whether it's here or whether it's here, whatever it does, it's going to end up coming all the way down here. So that's Ethereum. And if you want to actually compare Ethereum's 5-day order block, so I think if I'm not mistaken, it was here, right? Yeah. So it's the same thing as Ethereum coming down to $2,500, as if BTC will come down to 38 to $40,000, right? The 5-day block. Let me show you guys. Here, this right here. This is equivalent to BTC, Ethereum coming to this area down here, which makes sense because then you could actually take the liquidity down here like that. So again, guys, don't forget, I am not trying to scare anybody. I'm not trying to say that we're in a bear market, but you do not do what we just did in a bull market. I get it if there are scenarios where that was logical to people, but if you speak to someone that trades price action, that was not something you want to see if you're dealing with a bullish asset, right? You range for 1 month and the breakout after 1 month's worth of consolidation, because again, this is your range, man. This is your range. Your top was 51, your bottom was like 45 or 46. That was your range. You break out, and instead of breaking out to the top side to fill out all this emptiness, you broke out to the downside to fill the wick first. No, it doesn't make any sense, because now no matter what happens, when you do happen to go back up here to fill, because you are going to go back up to the fill regardless, it's going to offer another slap, like a heavy slap. It's untapped supply, freshly, untapped VWAPs. There's going to be insane resistance to get back above that $53,000 to $55,000 range. So the way I see it is, I was very upset that we broke down before up. Now, it is what it is. It's not dwelling on the past. What can we do about it? Nothing. All we could do is just protect our capital. Any move back down to range low, which is going to be between $38,000 and $40,000, to me, I think is going to be a safe long, because you know you're in validation. You do not want to break the 5-day order block. This is your 5-day order block over here. Those who don't know what order block is, it's basically a consolidation that took place before a reversal, a break in market structure. So as you could tell, breaks down, resistance, consolidate, break above, structures officially changed and broken, came back, retested. This is such a significant level. We should never break this. Like, I'm not even kidding you. We should never break this. Now, if we get a COVID kind of like move like this, and cascade us down here just to V back up, sure. But I mean, like, whatever. I don't even know why they would do that, right? Because, just put it this way. Something like this. Right? We broke down, and then we just basically tapped the VWAP and went back above. Let's just assuming that this is a similar scenario. We accumulated down here. Why would we give people the opportunity to rebuy this? If this, it doesn't make sense, unless there's obviously a fucking Black Swan event part 2 or some kind of really heavy wick that takes place. You do not want to see price go down here. You don't, especially because the quarterly VWAP is holding us up right now. So I don't want to see any weekly closes under the quarterly VWAP at all. I want basically to assume that all of Wall Street, all the big boys, they're all accumulating at the quarterly VWAP. I also want you to add this time around the yearly VWAP. It's important. And I also want you to put on your charts the yearly open. It's another important aspect that we need to talk about. Come on, man. What's up with this shit? I gotta go to the gym, 8 o'clock. So let's go to your 4 hours so it can be a little bit cleaner. All right, so this is your yearly VWAP. It's red, this one right here. This red thing is your yearly VWAP, okay? So I'm gonna write this because I want you guys to see it. Yearly VWAP. Okay, so your safest long will be to try to get as close as you can above this over here. and as close as you can to the monthly level. The monthly level is going to be roughly, I think, $47,000. Monthly level is $47,000. You want to get above the monthly level of $47,000. We knew this wick was going to get filled. We all knew it, right? We all knew it. It made sense. We knew it, but we just, personally speaking, I just want the top to happen before bottom. That's all. I told you guys they're gonna probably try to fill the wick come January, right? So they could actually, you don't want to have a month, the monthly candle. Like right now, if January closes and we're gonna be at $49,000 at the end of January, at least you could tell that both these candles are wicks, right? They're wicks. So, but again, I was very, very surprised, and I was butthurt, to be honest with you, that we didn't go up here first. I was very butthurt. It really bothered me. Annoying. But anyway, so go back to the VWAP. The yearly VWAP is going to be very important. The quarterly VWAP is going to be very important. You want to stay above the quarterly VWAP as you're accumulating, and take in consideration if you take off this right there. Take off the previous, take off the weekly. We don't need that. Okay, this is all you need. Previous monthly, previous quarterly, and then the previous yearly. So here you go. Right here. We have to get above this right now. ASAP. Right there. That is your yearly open plus your yearly VWAP together. $45,000 to $46,000. Once you get above that, then the doors start opening for this right here and this right here. I'm keeping it as simple as possible because at the end of the day, don't forget, this is still a range right here. This is your range, and this was your range. So now, are we doing a deviation of accumulation to the bottom? As long as we don't lose this VWAP down here, I'm content. Let me put this like this, QT VWAP. Make sense, guys? So that's pretty much it. I'm sorry if I made the video a little longer or I repeated myself. I just want to make it clear to everybody. I didn't like what I saw, but at the end of the day, I still cannot neglect the fact that we're still on a monthly order block. We have not broken down. We have not broken down from the monthly level yet. You're looking at the weekly. We're still on that weekly VWAP as well. Close everything. This is your weekly VWAP. We're still there. And then most importantly, if you go to your 5-day, my favorite level of all is going to be your 5-day block. And then your target will be your 5-day block again to the top side. So, I mean, the easiest long is going to be to wait for this, to target this. The easiest short will be to wait for this, to target this, right? Until one of these gets hit first. I don't know what's going to happen, but chances are the way the behavior is right now, it's not looking good for us because this could easily do something like this and still come all the way back down here, guys. I'm not choking it. It's giving me very bearish vibes. Certain levels that should not have been broken got broken. It does not make sense. And if you know price action very well and you study it, when you dump from all-time highs down and make your first impulse up, this is your first wick, for example, right here. This is your first reaction, not impulse up. I'm sorry, I meant to say your first reaction. This is your first reaction. Let's make this a little thinner because it's going to be in your face, right? Then you start your range after consolidating. You want to go up after that. You want to assume that enough liquidity was taken with this wick. So when you happen to create a range after that and you break down from that range, that's something that you don't see in a bull market, guys, right? You do not see that in a bull market at all. This should have easily broken to the top side and started taking all these VWAPs to the top side. Look at this. Where's the weekly? There's a weekly here too. I think it was $53,000, right? Yeah, right here, $53,000. Instead, we broke down to the downside. Now we're under the yearly VWAP, and we're under the yearly open. Anyway, guys, trade safe. I don't think that the market is 100% ready for a move to the top side. We're going to continue ranging. We're going to continue chopping around. I do happen to think that the main level to get above is going to be that 46, 47K range back into the old consolidation range. But if not, then you want to assume that we're going to target down here. Keep that in mind, okay? This whole block over here, that whole block. And then you're going to have to take out these little lows over here. But the main thing that you need to focus on is not losing this quarterly VWAP, guys, on a high time frame close. Cheers.